Hello and welcome back to the final part of my playthrough of the Age of the Ring 4.0 campaign. This final level very much ends as the first film does. We go to Amon-Hen and we see the breaking of the Fellowship sort of in a pretty full way, I think. It was a bit of backstory because the load screens aren't very long. I don't have much time to talk before stuff kicks off. It was a very easy level to make in ironically the first one we actually finished, I think, after the last alliance. Because we worked on each mission, sort of, we never finished one and went on. We kind of did them all at the same time, and that meant I could jump from mission to mission to make sure I always had something to do. Also meant I could break it up when it got a little repetitive. Excuse me. And Amon-Hen, because of its nature, you don't need many custom things to make it work. Often custom assets are just aesthetic, but sometimes they are functional. When they're functional, you are restricted to, you need them before you can test things and finish things. Amon-Hen, there's nothing really there that's game breaking. It was already there from the vanilla game, so by the time we had started working on Moria and Lothlorien, I took Amon-Hen as a break, and it was probably 2 weeks, and it was pretty much ready to play. Well, probably more like a week actually. It was ready to play. But yeah, let's dive into it rather than blabber on any longer. You'll notice with this level it loads incredibly quickly, and that's because it is tiny. It really didn't need to be big. That was a big consideration of mine. Is I love the first Amon-Hen we see in Battle from Level 1. It was one of my favourite levels, and as a kid I always wanted it to last longer. But there's a reason they keep it short, and that's because it doesn't get boring, it doesn't get repetitive. It is exciting, and you never lose the pace. So even though I wanted more, I stuck to a shorter length for the Amon-Hen. And I know some people, for them it's their favourite level, and that's brilliant news. When we first, the first iteration of it, but there is a video somewhere of it which I showed to the team, because we had a sort of plan for how this was going to go, but I took a lot of it and just ran with it. I made because it's so small, I could set how I wanted the level to go, show it to the team, and then we could balance it and change it from there. But an awful lot of it stayed. We didn't do too much to actually change how the level played out, which is great. These cinematics, this beginning one in particular, it was never there originally. We started at the summit with Aragorn, speaking to Frodo and telling him to run off. Again, during the break time that I had, once I got a bit better at the cinematics and the team were a little more comfortable with them, I went with this one, and I added as much as I could, because it is the final level, and the level itself isn't very long. It felt like an opportunity to really show, the fall of Boromir and how he kind of gets corrupted and stuff, and it was very enjoyable. They turned out really nice, and it gives us a chance to actually admire them, some of the new models and their cloaks and what have you. So it was very nice. This was quite a difficult scene actually, in particular this one in front of us, to cut, because it's really a scene about, with a lot of emotion and animation. We can't, we don't have that ability in this game to show that. We have people that stand there with blank expressions, and the only movement you get is turning side to side. So
why do you recoil, Amon?
I think it's okay, but
You are not yourself.
I think your mind's eye just imagines what it normally looks like, and that's kind of, it's more a reminder of this scene rather than trying to be a true representation, because we can't do that. It doesn't try to be that. It's just giving the essence. To complete that story, we get the whole theme, the whole narrative of Fellowship through the campaign. I really like that detail. A note in that part, Frodo puts the ring on, disappears. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, the script for putting the ring on doesn't work. So I learned with the Isildur you have to basically give him a different effect and do all this stuff, but in that one I just cheated. Frodo teleports out the way and I just spawn the effect as an object, which you can do. The same up here, Frodo isn't here, he just spawns in, and he does his little ring animation. It works easier, I can assure you.
Where is the ring?
Stay away!
This is a very simple scene to script, in particular up here on the hill.
I swore to protect
the cinematic, at least.
Can you protect me from yourself?
One issue that is always prevalent with these is balancing the audio, how loud something is or isn't, because that's influenced by how far the camera is. So you may find at times the volume's too quiet or too loud. I do try to balance it, but it is tricky sometimes.
Look after the others.
So here we have it.
They will not understand.
Glad we get this little bit of dialogue, and Frodo sort of flashes, which was it's okay. I wish it would stay on, but I need to work out how to make that happen. I'm sure at some point I'll go back to it and make his sword stay on. But here we have it, the fight. I really tried to my best to replicate that scene where you see them run up the hill towards you. And you notice in that scene, obviously, they don't all rush Aragorn. Some stay in the background and slowly approach. I think, obviously, because if they did all rush him, he'd be dead. You know? And I guess they are a bit intimidated by him. You know, he's not afraid of them. So we do the same thing here. We have these Uruk-hai at the back waiting almost their turn to have a go at him. And when they do, they run straight up. And to do well here, you've really got to use Aragorn's sort of splash damage. You know? You can take out 2 in 1, he'll have so much more health
You must call
for the rest of the campaign, or the rest of the level. Right, he's dead. And this is great, you know, having Legolas and Gimli turn up.
Frodo carries the fate of us all.
Brilliant. Use a lot of Two Towers dialogue from the game here. A lot of people recognise that, I'm positive. Aragorn's not doing well, and they heal him. Yeah. Once these Uruk-hai turn up, we ditch the system of taking turns. They just run up in force and they just surround you, because we no longer need to be so concerned about being overwhelmed, because you've got multiple heroes, you can move some out, you know, move the other ones in. Simple as this object. Can you actually go up it? Matt, the Lego man, isn't. I think he looked at how to make it walkable. At some point, we may make that happen. That would be quite cool. It depends. We've got lots of stuff we could be doing. There we are. Right. The Horn of Gondor.
The Horn of Gondor.
Got a lot of film audio in here and a lot of Two Towers audio because they did a lot of recordings for that game. Because this level's a big scene.
Run, hobbits, run!
Those new Uruk-hai that Kyle made are quite incredible. And Matthias used a similar body on Mertz, just made a new head for him as well, and they look stunning. You know,
You must reach Boromir.
for me in particular,
Down the hill.
I will save here because even I sometimes do lose this. The time used to be a lot longer. It used to be like a minute and a half. You know, it wasn't too hard to keep him alive. The decision actually to decide whether Boromir should live or die or be optional was contested. We weren't sure. Some people said yes, some people said no. One concern was how do we manage that in the future, but it's not too difficult to alter cinematics to add one extra character or not, especially as he won't really have many lines going forward. You know, he'll be there, and we may give him the odd line here and there, but it's not a huge amount of work. So I was willing to, you know, say let's give it the option, and I'll work it out down the line in Two Towers how that influences things. If you definitely want to keep Boromir alive, it's definitely worth running this direction because the other direction is a little bit longer.
Some evil gives speed.
I think there's a few more Uruk-hai that way as well. A lot of people maybe don't know you can go this way because, you know, traditionally you can't walk down objects such as this in the Battle for Middle-earth. But you know, we make it work in this level by fiddling things and what have you. So I'm going to try to keep Boromir alive, just because I think more people are interested in seeing how that kind of works. Right, you've got to avoid Lurz when he's doing this because he's pretty lethal. He will kill your heroes incredibly quickly. Right. Oh. Well,
it must not be allowed to extinguish.
I haven't done that for a very long time. That's a little embarrassing, isn't it? Never mind, it shows you even I struggle to play these. We did design them to be hard, and I guess we succeeded. I was thinking too much about Boromir. Okay, let's try that again.
We must defeat these Uruk-hai.
It is a hard fight, you know. Interesting thing to note about that fight. I love these clips, by the way, that Max coded in. They're brilliant. You know, they add that bit of pressure that you've got to get there quickly and you've got to move fast because Boromir is in trouble.
They will not get past me.
I was distracted there, sorry. Just kill them off, Legolas. Run! Yeah, interesting thing to know about the fight is because there's sort of many different ways the fight can occur. Boromir can die before you get there, while you get there, or he can live. 3 different versions of how that fight can go. And you've got to script it in such a way that it's balanced. So if Boromir dies, we have fewer Uruk-hai, or if he lives, we have more Uruk-hai. I don't believe Lurtz uses his carnage if Boromir is dead. He doesn't do that, which is nice because it is a bit of a git when it has a power. Jesus, he is a
Stand
real
fast.
bastard to kill. I may not survive this fight, we'll see. Let's get rid of these people.
Is this all you could
Aragon,
muster?
get back there.
I do not fear you.
It's good having these two alive because Boromir knocks everybody over and obviously Aragon has a splash damage, so together they can kill a lot of Uruk-hai quite quickly.
Some
Without
people give
Boromir, he
speed
gets
to these
surrounded.
creatures.
Men of Gondor.
So I'm a little concerned that Lurtz is coming now, because he will
I stand
kill
as your
Aragon
captain.
pretty quickly.
Hey,
It's probably safe to bring Aragon in now. Right, get him. Lurtz isn't too difficult with Axe Carnage, he's pretty weak to both of these guys. It's useful using these nooks to try and force the Uruk-hai to go a certain direction towards you, because otherwise they can sort of surround you. Which
Gondor
is
must
not what you
stand.
want, you want to be able to focus them in a particular direction. Right, I need to heal Aragon. So it's later. Oh my god. Jesus.
Begone,
It really is a hard fight. But normally it's Boromir who's
Is
so
this
close to
all
death.
you could muster?
This is the first time I've actually struggled keeping
Let
Aragon
us
alive.
prepare for this war.
Will you die? Get your bow out.
You are
Shoot it.
mine.
Take the fight to them. I stand as your captain.
There we go. Kill them.
March
Get
order.
back here.
Advance. Gondor must stand. Strike
Ooh,
them
Aragon, get
down.
back. He won't be able to survive this.
I will defend.
And he is... Lurtz is sort of told to aim for Boromir in particular, because that kind of was his target. He prioritises him over Aragon in terms of who he wants to kill. I might use Aragon's Faithful Protector. Originally we didn't have this when we did this level. You had to do the whole thing without any sort of, LND or whatever power. It was very hard indeed. Boromir didn't have his horn probably either, because we didn't know what level the heroes were going to be. We hadn't decided that at that point. Stuff like, what hero you reach by what level is determined by how many missions you have, and that wasn't locked down until this year, because we kept adding missions and such. So it changes. I think this is it. I think we can kill him now, thank Christ. There we go, he's dead. And this text Matthias wrote for us, and it's really lovely. It sort of keeps the same theme, but obviously it's more hopeful in its own way. Boromir has a chance to regain his honour, by staying with them and helping them rescue Merry and Pippin, I assume. Pardon me. And there we have it. You can keep him alive if you want, and going forward in the campaign, he will be there. But you don't need to keep him. You can lose him, if you so wish. It certainly won't be too
That was close.
detrimental.
Too close. I must succeed.
We were a bit cheeky though when we did that. We didn't tell anybody. We always told them no, Boromir has to die, because we didn't really want to spoil it. This section has caused some trouble for people. Basically, we're heading down here to the boats. They're revealed on the map. There are Uruk-hai everywhere, and as it says here, we can't be discovered. We can't be seen. This section works by there are Uruk-hai.
I must
So if
keep
I
it
walk down
safe.
here, we'll be able to see.
Follow me.
I'll put the ring on.
Hurry.
There we are.
Follow me.
You can't hang around too
Let
long
us
with the
hurry.
ring on, because you will be
Over
discovered.
here.
These Uruk-hai are moving around certain areas. They're doing the odd patrol, and if you go within their vision range, which I've predefined, that's counted as you're being spotted. You
This
get an
way.
audio prompt for that, and you fail the mission immediately.
Keep moving.
Frodo is discovered, and he can't fight off this many Uruk-hai, so the level's over.
Keep up.
So the mission's about finding a way there, which eek.
Hurry. Come on.
And you can't just stick the ring on and run, because eventually we found, as I was just then. So it's finding paths that are safe, and you can take the ring off and wait and put it back on and move through. And the first way
Hurry.
is by, if you don't know, you can destroy these
I get
vines.
this one.
You can knock these down, and you can run to these hidden paths that take you in different directions. Normally people go down that way.
Keep up.
I'm going to
Come
go this
on.
way. I'm going to save, because you can die here. I think the easiest path is probably going to the right and sticking to the right all the way there. But you can go left. I don't see many people go left, so I thought I'd show it off in this video, because it was fun to make. It's
The ring.
as valid
is
as
so
the rest of
heavy.
them, and you might see an area you haven't seen before potentially.
Let us hurry.
Right, so the first thing we do is we run down here and we go up
Hurry.
here. Right, we've got a vine.
You'll
Knock
have the
the
edge
vine
of
out
my
the way.
sword. Keep up. Come on.
We can go in here
Follow me. Keep moving.
stand up here. It's dangerous going too far down here before you get the ring on, because obviously you're quite near the path,
Come on.
and you
Over
can be
here.
spotted.
Let us hurry.
So he will spot you most definitely.
Follow me.
Smell
Let us hurry.
They've got some cool
Come
audio.
on.
That audio
Keep moving.
is from the original Battle for
Keep
Middle-earth
up.
1. You know, they recorded those lines, and I can only assume that the intention was that they were going to have a scene just like this. You know, you had to hide Frodo and move him around, because the order is very specific for that kind of thing. You know. So if that was true, it's nice to be able to put that sort of feature back in. It was tricky coming up with the scripting for how this would work.
Keep moving.
You know,
Keep up.
being discovered.
Keep
You
moving.
basically,
Keep
you know,
up.
these guys are on a good team
Come
right
on.
now. You can't attack them. The
Over
moment they see
here.
you, they switch to a bad team.
Let
You
us hurry.
fail, and yeah, they all hunt you out
Follow
and kill
me.
you.
Over here.
Because I didn't want
Come
Frodo to
on.
be able to attack them.
Let
you
us
know,
hurry.
And
Keep up. Keep moving.
so actually, I'm in a bit of trouble here. I've waited too long with the ring on.
Come on. Follow
I've got to
me.
get the hell out of here before I spot. Oh dear.
Master will be
There you are.
No.
I've been spotted.
Banners are torn.
And Frodo is slowly, you know,
Lie heavy on
hunted out. Yeah. You can use the cloak. I've never tried using the cloak as well. I know people say you can. I never really have tried it, but so as I went that way last time, I'll go the other way this time. One thing I should note is, so they're the
The burden is heavy.
units that do their little patrols
This
in
way.
these little zones, but there's also these big hordes
Keep up.
that run, you know, through the map and come back up the top.
Come on.
You-
This way.
When you cross the path like this,
Let us
you'll
hurry.
see them. You know, they'll run up
Follow me.
and cross over the route.
Hurry.
So it's not always safe to go by these main paths.
Keep up. This way.
You can be discovered
Come on.
quite easily.
This way.
Right.
Keep up.
I should
This
be able
way.
to sneak down here. There's one guy up here. There he is.
Come on.
He's not too bad. If I
Keep up.
take the ring off, weak, or it's taken off from me.
Get him.
Right, I can attack. You can't attack these when you've got the ring on. You've got to be able to take it off. That's the
Follow me.
bit of threat there. I should be
I
safe
know
down here.
what I must do.
One thing I should note is these lovely rock props that we see everywhere. Yeah, give these clearly defined edges. Made by Matt the Lego Man, and they really, to me, make this level a standout. Because it's such a small level,
We must be careful here.
we can really home in on little details, and things like these rocks make the little details so much nicer. You know, stuff like this, making a sunken path, you don't normally bother
Ring.
with that
It's
because
so
you know,
heavy.
you're not dealing with a
Keep
single
up.
hobbit-sized unit. You're dealing with
Keep moving.
hordes and armies.
Keep
You
up.
know. But
Keep
I
moving.
really enjoyed taking
Follow
this
me.
map and
Keep moving.
spending
Follow
so
me.
much time
Over
making
here.
the little details
Come on.
come out and come through.
Follow me.
Designing the path you could take, all the different
This
routes.
way.
Because there are,
Keep moving.
you know, different routes you can take. You know, they all lead to the same place, but you can go different
Let us
ways.
hurry.
There's like a crossover here with two vines you can ditch between. At one point I toyed with a little cinematic with Merry and Pippin if you went a certain way, so you had a reward for actually exploring, and I couldn't find a way of doing that properly, and
here.
I didn't want to put people through another cinematic.
Keep up.
I turned off
Let
the
us
idea,
hurry. Keep up.
so
Over
I
here.
didn't do it.
Keep moving.
But you know, it was definitely there, the thought was
Follow
there.
me.
Am I brave
Come
enough
on.
to attack this? I may give it a go. If you attack
I'll
this
get
quickly
this
enough and get in there,
Too long have you lived in shadow.
you can be out of the
Let
view.
us hurry.
Because if you stay here too long, the Iroquois will run past and they will
Keep
find
moving.
you. But,
Keep up.
this path up here does go the correct direction. You've just got to be careful.
This way. Hurry.
Because
Keep moving.
Up here on
Follow
the
me.
corner, this is where the
Over
enemy
here.
hordes spawn and run in.
Keep
I'm not going
moving.
to kick around to wait and see because
This
they will
way.
probably spot me. Oh, thank God.
Follow me.
We've made it to the bloody boats. Let's get
Let
down
us
here.
hurry.
Here we go.
Come on.
Very late cinematic coming up, but it was a lovely one we added.
I wish the ring had never come to me.
This one.
I wish none of this
I
had
really
happened.
like it.
So do all who live to see such times.
Originally this scene for the
but there's not
got the
for them
boats.
to decide.
Spun round and the Iroquois
All you
found
have
it.
to decide
And during that battle, Sam
what
turned
to
up
do
and
with the time
defended
that
it.
is given to you.
And then we changed it. I think twice. We changed it to this, then back to the original, then back to this again. We couldn't decide when should Sam turn up before or after the battle.
I must succeed.
I think this is the correct way because you know it gives them both a chance to fight. You get to use Sam's powers, which are brilliant.
Kill them all.
This was a really deadly fight when these hobbits were level 1.
Ah, you beast.
And we test these in skirmish, and often I would set the heroes to level 1 or 2 or whatever. because I wouldn't know what level they would be, and you can get killed very easily.
I'm wounded.
Ooh, you still can, it looks like. Nah, we're fine.
Can't have it.
And that's it. That's our last battle for the campaign. Well, unless we show Boromir's death, which we probably will.
I made a promise, Mr. Brother. A promise. Don't you leave him, Samwise Gamgee. And I don't mean to. I don't mean to.
Oh, Sam.
It's lovely. I'm glad we got this dialogue in.
Come on.
And it works quite well. They're meant to be on a boat at that point, but you can't tell. Keen eyes will notice the boat Frodo and Sam take is missing. That's on purpose, so we get the sense that they've left.
Frodo and Sam have reached the eastern shore.
You'll probably notice that the hero sort of stood around a bit vacant for a few seconds. That's not intentional. That's probably an issue that arises at some point. I won't go back and fix that.
And it has all been in vain.
It's a good Boromir line coming up in a minute.
The fellowship has failed.
I'll try and shut up for a moment.
What if we hold true to each other? We will not abandon Merry and Pippin to torment and death. Not while we have strength left.
I will not fail you.
There it is.
Leave all that can be spared behind.
It's nice that Boromir can be added into these things. We changed the timings and everything so that it all lines up, even if Boromir... Why the hell didn't you run off, Gimli? Thank you. Why didn't you run off? What the hell? Well, I assure you that's the first time I've seen Gimli. That's why. His auto bloody axe. It messes with every one of my cinematics. Never mind. He still ran off, that's what counts. Now this was up there with one of my favourite things we did. Matthias, Kyle, Cal, who's on the Discord, laid out this scene. It's very much as it is in the film, but they added these custom credits, which are, they're lovely. They're a real compliment to everybody who worked on it. I'll let these guys chat for a minute.
I'm glad you're with me.
There they go. Off they go. We didn't have this originally, but it made such a difference adding it in, because it adds a sense of the campaign closing. And the truth is, we never know whether we can do another one. Whether we'll do 2 towers, we don't know yet because we haven't tried. So the fact they added this, this complete ending, makes the whole thing feel, so much better. And here's the team that worked on it. These 3 guys, they've been involved with us forever, modding. I've been there, a long time. Our mappers, our modelers, our coders. Here we have testers, modelers, scripters, everything. It's a big mod team, and they all get mentioned. The testers. There's so many testers who work on this for months and months, finding every bug. In particular, I need to give voice actors. I should mention them. A shout out to Captain Corrigan for working with me on the campaign in particular, finding bugs. He was an endless support in that. Matt the Lego Man did so many objects. Max, coding legend, came in, did things. Carl did music. Matthias did plans and models, and everybody did something. And without it, it definitely wouldn't be here. So, a huge credit to all of them, and a thanks for their endless, support in making this thing. That's it, really. I'll probably, I maybe will go back and do Boromir as a separate thing now, but you're welcome to leave the video if you're happy. If you want to save that ending for yourself, I'd recommend going and playing it yourself if you haven't already, seeing what happens. If you have seen it and you want to hear more about it, then stick around. I'll replay it now, and we'll see what happens. So I'll go back into it one more time. So here we are. We're back to the fight. Boromir's still alive. I'm going to keep him alive because I think it's a little more interesting when you are here and he does die.
Aragorn, look out!
If you arrive and he is already dead, then
Fear you.
You are mine!
so you get this extra audio if you actually are here while Boromir does
Is
die.
this all you could muster?
And it's really sad music, to show Boromir's death, which is, you do want to keep him alive, even when you are, trying to show him dying. You definitely don't want him to. And so this fight going forward will be easier than it was with Boromir here, because we can't expect Aragorn to take as many Uruk-hai on his own. It would be unfair on the player. The player wouldn't want to ever let Boromir die, because it wouldn't be impossible. It wouldn't be as fun. So Boromir will stay here. Eventually he'll slink over here somehow and be punctured full of arrows, but that's fine. Oh, Lurtz is here.
I'll take him!
Where the hell did this prick come from? Right, let's just make sure we're not killed. Get out of here. I don't know where you came from. Same principle applies. You've got to use the areas around you to try and just get away from Boromir's corpse. How dare you?
Some evil gives speed to these creatures.
You can try and follow Lurtz up here if you want. You can't actually go up there, unfortunately, because he's just stood up there. We'll assume he's coordinating some sort of attack, but he's just stood there. Why are you here? You go away, please. Get off Boromir. Right, Lurtz will probably run back again. Sometimes I like shooting him with the bow, just as an insult. Ironically, I guess. There you go, one shot. Get lost.
Is this
Get
all you could muster?
You bastard. You killed Boromir. So yeah, we can actually do this fight without Boromir. Rest in peace. How many fights do we have? Battles fought 5. He only lasted 5 missions if I keep this safe. Which of course I won't. I'm not going around with that short beam. What kind of madman do you think I am? I was one of the advocates keeping him alive. I loved keeping him alive from minute 1. It's brilliant.
Come to me.
Let's heal myself. Sorry, you can't be healed, Boromir. You're
Some
dead.
evil gives speed to these
Right, let's
creatures.
use this power.
Begone,
because
fell beast!
I'm not looking to die here. Yeah, you better die. So, cinematic plays differently. We fade out because, of course, we have to move Boromir's corpse to here.
Stay still.
And I'll try and remain
Frodo.
quiet for this.
Where is Frodo? I met Frodo. Then you did what I could not.
Amazing prop, by the way.
Tried to take the ring from him.
Matthias' work.
Never reach him.
Forgive me. I did not see. I have failed you all.
No. You fought bravely.
Look at that horn. It looks amazing.
The world of men will fall. And all will come to darkness. And my city to ruin.
I do not know what strength is in my blood, but I swear to you, I will not let the White City fall. Nor our people fail.
Our people. I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king.
Peace. Son of Gondor. They will look for his coming from the White Tower, but he will not return.
There we have it. That's how I'll end this thing, I think. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I hope you
I was close. Too
learned a
close.
little something about the campaign you didn't know before. Learned a bit about how we do these things, and maybe even helped you finish the damn thing. But it was a really, really enjoyable time working on it. It was really hard at times, but I've wanted to do this ever since I started in Battle for Middle-earth. Ever since I played Battle for Middle-earth, I wanted a campaign like this. That's 15 years ago at this point. So I guess it is like a childhood dream, and the team have made that possible. And I hope you all enjoy the fruits of our efforts and look forward to more. We will certainly try our best. I will try my best to do more in the Two Towers. Do the Two Towers themselves, and I guess I'll see you then. But thank you very much. If you have any questions, come to the Discord, message me. It's absolutely fine. I'm happy to discuss things. If you have any suggestions or bugs or anything like that, ping them my way. I will get to them, because we can do a patch and fix things and all sorts. But yeah, thanks very much. Have fun playing the mod. Go to Skirmish. Do War of the Ring. Bye.